All right, Mike, thank you very much. And as we welcome you into the Pete Maravich Assembly Center, Wayne Chisholm knocks down the three, the second three-pointer for Tennessee in the early going. The other one coming from Melvin Goins, who is guarding Bo Spencer, the point guard, and it has Tennessee on top of LSU 6-5.
Well, Melvin Goins has come off the bench. Bobby Mays had trouble guarding Bo Spencer at the point guard position, and Goins has done a nice job. Hit a three, then his dribble penetration led to the three to Wayne Chisholm on the offensive end for Tennessee.
Desmond Mitchell, LSU's leading scorer, comes up short. Ronaldo Woolridge with the rebound for the Vols.
And right now, LSU is in a man-to-man. They will switch up their defenses. They will play zone after made baskets, man-to-man after miss. In a man-to-man, look for Tennessee. Huge height advantage down low. Get the ball down low to Chisholm down low on the block.
Storm Warren was guarding him, and he got a body on him, and the foul is going to be called on Storm Warren. It's his first. So a couple of Tennessee three-pointers, the first two on the road in the SEC season of the year by someone other than Scotty Hopson, has the Vols with a Baton Rouge. And Hubert, as you look at this game, Tennessee has designs on perhaps contending for the regular season title in the SEC. LSU just wants a win. It'd be easy, I think, for the Volunteers to overlook LSU tonight.
Well, I mean, we talked to Bruce Pearl at the shoot-around. He talked about the importance of this game. Well, one of their major goals is to win an SEC regular season title. So they play Vanderbilt and also Kentucky one game ahead. They play both of those teams next week, but they have to take care of business right now against an LSU team that plays extremely well at home and looking for their first conference win.
And, you know, this LSU team, Bruce told us today, he was selling to his players that this is the team, really, that cost them the SEC regular season title last year. It changed the dynamic at the end of the year when they went into Knoxville and won the game, so they should be fired up. They have a great star who helped them last year in Tasman Mitchell, part of our Star Watch tonight here.
Well, I mean, you look at Scotty Hopson. He's a 6'7", athletic guard, terrific in transition. Tennessee's best jump shooter, hit the game-winning shot versus Florida this past weekend. And Tasman Mitchell, one of the best players in the SEC.
At this point, we played nearly 4.5 minutes, and right out of the gate, LSU got some aggressive play from Bo Spencer. Spencer coming up with a turnover from Mays. He got the first bucket of the game and then took it inside again, Hubert, and really kind of got LSU going with some aggressive play.
Well, he has to be aggressive tonight. Tasman Mitchell is their go-to guy, so they need another guy to step up, and Bo Spencer is that type of guy.
Team that lost a ton of scoring last year and has relied heavily on Mitchell, and he hasn't had much help in the early part of the season. Hopson misses. Harris grabs the rebound, and Goins not going to let him throw it to Spencer. Goins working hard in the backcourt. Number 11, Bo Spencer, brings it into the front court for LSU. There's Aaron Dotson, the freshman from Seattle, who's getting the start. Denny Hall into the game for Bruce Pearl. Blocked the shot. It'll stay on this end with LSU. 16 left on the shot clock.
Well, offensively, they're going to put the ball on the floor to the right. It is so important for LSU to establish a couple more scores to help them out. Bo Spencer's been aggressive at the beginning of the game. Storm Warren, who got off to a hot start at the beginning of the year, they need him to step up in terms of points and rebounds as well, Reese.
One of those walk-ons I mentioned for Trent Johnson just checked into the game. Chris Beatty, a guard, good shooter. He's the only Tiger to make a three-pointer in 4 consecutive games, in the last 4 consecutive games. So Johnson trying to get some shooting in there. Spencer picks up his dribble. Mitchell guarded by Chisholm. Spencer going to pull up, shoot it right in the face of the defense, and Goins is going to go the other way. Goins giving it off to Cameron Tatum, and Tatum has one rim out. Goins and Tatum, both back from the suspension midseason, both involved in that New Year's morning situation that resulted in Tyler Smith being dismissed from the team as he faces weapons charges. Brian Williams still faces an indefinite suspension. Well, Raymond was scheduled in the last few days in Knoxville, but weather forced it to be postponed as the courts were closed. So I believe that Goins and Tatum are going to come out of this unscathed, but I'm still waiting for the official word on that. Williams' status still up in the air.
Suspensions. He's added a number of guys to the rotation. Skylar McBee, a walk-on's now in the regular rotation. Ronaldo Woolridge, Kenny Hall, guys that prior to the suspensions were sitting the bench. They took care of their time. They got in, played extremely well, so much so that now they're in the regular rotation. So now, as a result, you have a deeper team.
There's Dotson with it. Beatty going to line one up, and it rattles out. The Maravich Maniacs behind us wanted to see the walk-on get on the board early. Tatum on the push. Tennessee would like to play much faster than LSU wants to. Woolridge can do that, step away from the bucket, but it's one and done. Now Spencer. All the way to the glass, and Woolridge just swats it away like a fly. Goins grabbed it, and it'll go the other way. The Volunteers will have the ball.
You know, Reese, that's one of the, put the ball on the floor, try to get to the rim. In that situation, Ronaldo Woolridge, also Cameron Tatum had driving opportunities. Don't give up getting the ball to the lane and settle for that outside jump shot.
Walk-on is number 13, Skylar McBee from Tennessee for three.
And see, I like that because he threw the ball down low on the post. So it's inside and out, established the post, defense sunk down, and then wide open Skylar McBee for three.
McBee, a walk-on from Rutledge, Tennessee, had a huge three-pointer, couple of them really, against Kansas, and the Volunteers upset of the Jayhawks in Knoxville earlier this season. Tasman Mitchell loves to go right. He's cut off by Tennessee effectively. Dodson's going to pull the trigger from the corner. And Goins, despite the small stature, doing a good job snatching those long rebounds. He's going to pull up. Dotson and Mitchell fighting over it, and both lose it out of bounds. It'll be Tennessee's ball. Here's the play that Skylar McBee scored on.
Yeah, they're throwing the ball down low on the post. You can see the defense sink down, then throw it back out. If you have a wide open three-point shot, then take it. That's great offensive execution. But Tennessee, here in the first half, too many threes off of 0-1 pass possessions. Put the ball on the floor, put a lot of pressure on an LSU team that doesn't have a lot of depth.
All right, let's set the lineups for Tennessee. Ronaldo Woolridge, number 0, will play the ball in bounds. Bobby Mays, the starting point guard, is back. That's Kenny Hall who has it. Mays, not a very good perimeter shooter. He was left open. He tried it. J.P. Prince on the offensive rebound, couldn't get it to go, and Prince will go to the free throw line. High on. He says his foot speed, not the greatest in the world, but he's savvy with the ball, good shooter, good passer. He's going to continue to get stronger in the inside. Chris Bass is Brandon Bass's brother, the former LSU star, now in the NBA with the Magic. He's running the point for LSU, and that's Beatty with the ball, and Ludwig has it out front.
You see, without Bo Spencer has been the guy for them outside of Tasman Mitchell. You can see Tennessee, they're not double teaming, but they're really helping. Somebody's going to have to step up on that perimeter, knock down some open jump shots to give Mitchell a little bit more space to operate. He doesn't have enough room, Reese.
Knock the ball away from Mitchell, a turnover for him, and Tasman struggling to get started. Hall running the floor and skying to the rim. So the ball's going to get wedged. There aren't those two fences between us. That's a big, beautiful animal, and it's also frightening when he bounded toward us.
Man, he was fast, too. He looked hungry. He kept licking his lips.
No, he kept looking at us and licking his lips, which is a little disconcerting.
What is that all about?
Yum, lunch, he thought. Somebody needs to feed LSU and get Tasman Mitchell going. Tigers down by 6 in the early going, and now the shot clock on this possession is inside 10. Bo Spencer has it.
Yeah, and this is one of the things that LSU has been doing offensively. They've been trying to hold the ball, try to keep the score down, and trying to score in late clock situations. That's very difficult.
Pearls checked into the game for Tennessee. Here's Tasman Mitchell and what he means to the LSU offense here.
Well, I mean, he is the offense. Everything goes around him. So every time in the offensive end, the ball's going to touch his hands, and he's absolutely terrific scoring in that mid-post range. Good block by Garrett Green down low on Wayne
Chisholm got it on the inbounds. On shot clock inside 15. Look to Pearl trying to call a play. Clock now inside 10. Mays has it. Chisholm setting the screen. Green hedges, has to recover. McBee. Prince will running hook. Beat the clock, J.P. Prince.
And that's what he does. He's a slasher, a guy that can find open spots in the middle of a zone or man-to-man. Does a terrific job of taking the ball to the basket. He's been playing outstanding basketball on the offensive end the last month.
It's been a methodical run, more like a jog, but Tennessee on a 10-0 jog, and now Chisholm returns the favor on Green by blocking his shot. Mays. Spencer cuts him off effectively. Chisholm can hit that shot, but not this time. Mitchell fighting for the rebound, and he gets past Stephen Pearl for it. LSU try again to score. LSU hit its first 2 field goal attempts, and they haven't scored since. The scoring has been the problem for LSU all season long.
Well, I mean, they were able to score at the beginning of the game because they got out in transition, and Bo Spencer was able to get open in the pick and roll. Good pass down low to Aaron Dotson. He's another guy that can really create for the offensive end. That pick and roll, especially he loves to go to his left, is something that LSU might want to look at in the half court.
Dotson, a freshman from Trent Johnson's hometown of Seattle, top 100 player. Good work from McBee as he goes sprawling to the deck, but found Chisholm, and Chisholm will go to the free throw line. Want to remind you, Saturday at high noon.
Cal Singler from Duke finally had a big game, had 30 points against Georgia Tech. One of the best small forwards, if not the best small forward in the country. Been struggling a little bit in ACC play.
Chisholm hits 1 out of 2. Mentioned Dominique Jones after his performance against Georgetown last night. He apparently yelled at the crowd, "Y'all came to see Dominique Jones play." More people are going to come see him play if he keeps doing that. Stephen Pearl with good defense with the steal. Pearl all the way to the bucket. It is skyjacked by Dotson.
Knocking into the stands.
Dotson might have used Stephen's arm to climb up there, too. He might have gotten a little assist and gotten away with one. Hobson now working on the freshman. Scotty Hobson takes him to school. He'll go to the free throw line to try to finish the three-point play.
Well, Reese, I mean, this is a big-time player. I mean, this is a guy at 6'7", has the ability to put the ball on the floor, and his strength is getting to the rim. And he's playing with so much confidence right now. I think he has the ability to be a first-team All-SEC performer, maybe even an All-American. He is one jump shot away from being a complete basketball player. He's been fun to watch.
He's a highly touted guy, Hubert, coming out of high school. Bruce Pearl telling us this morning that last year, a lot of people expected him to really be ready to carry the load, to take late shots as he finishes the three-point play, the way he did against Florida to beat them. He thinks that Hobson is just now getting ready for it. He's starting to blossom. Scotty told me this morning that having Pearl call that play for him against Florida and having his teammates tell him, "This is your time, take this shot," did wonders for him.
He made a beautiful move, step back, jump shot over Chandler Parsons to beat Florida, and they needed that win after losing back-to-back games against.
Storm Warren's going to go to the free throw line, shoot a couple. Here's the shot we were talking about. Tennessee down 1 against the Gators. Chandler Parsons, pretty good defense here.
Oh, he played terrific defense. I mean, that's what you want as a defensive team, to make somebody shoot a contested fadeaway jump shot. But Scotty Hobson, a guy that's really worked hard on his shot over the summer, was able to shoot that with confidence and hit the game-winning shot. You know, we talked to Bruce Pearl at shoot-around. He said that's the play he wanted. I don't think he wanted a step-back fadeaway 2 or 3 to win the game, but he'll take it.
Bet he will. And speaking of that, they beat Florida on that play. Florida has to survive at the end against Alabama tonight. How do you think Billy Donovan's nerves are about now? They go down to the wire every game, it seems.
But I tell you, Alabama, as Anthony Grant is doing an excellent job at Alabama, building a program there. That's a program that's going to be a major player in SEC play.
With Alabama and LSU going through coaching transitions, and they'll need to get the recruiting going, and that's something that Trent Johnson is going to be able to do here. Is Pearl effective on the defense to stop Tasman Mitchell?
See, they went away from that pick and roll. At the beginning of the game, they got Bo Spencer able to get the ball in the middle. Storm Warren one-on-one situation against Wayne Chisholm. You're just not going to be able to get open because you don't have those shooters on the perimeter to allow them to give them space to work.
Well, Hobson drew a lot of contact, no call. Prince got it out of there. Now Scotty's got room, penetrating. Nifty little move with the left. Can't get it to go, and Mitchell has the rebound for LSU.
See, that's where that mid-range game, the beautiful pump fake, one dribble pull-up. He didn't need to put the ball on the floor again and take it to the rim. So, talented basketball player, still a little bit to work on to be a complete player for Scotty Hobson.
Mitchell finally gets a shot, and Hobson has the rebound. Almost throws it away, but Goins is back into the game. Running the show for Bruce Pearl's team. LSU just 3 of 15 from the floor. Tennessee not a lot better, just 5 of 19. Here's Goins working on Bass. Little running hook and the flush follow by Chisholm.
Yep, that was set up by Melvin Goins. Really done a nice job here in the first half. Putting the ball on the floor, penetrating, making plays happen. Done a nice job of finding Wayne Chisholm for a 3, and then the putback there for Chisholm underneath.
Bass and Spencer working out front. Harris setting the screen. Pearl being very physical. Spencer gets around him, tries to get it to Harris. It's knocked out of bounds by Scotty Hobson. Tennessee with a 19-8 lead, and Wayne Chisholm In an early part where Tennessee's not shooting it well, but if you follow with a little high percentage, you can get some numbers. Volunteers up by 11.
When we make shots.
Sports Center right now, Colts defensive end Dwight Freeney hoping to test his sore right ankle for the first time during Friday's Super Bowl practice. Freeney tore a ligament.
With just under 7 minutes to go here. He got 8. Almost threw it away, but Bo Spencer chases it down. And Bo has to remember the shot clock is going to hit 10 about the time he hits midcourt. Spencer pulling up for 3, and LSU is now 0 for 6 from behind the arc. Shooting less than 25% from 3, Hubert, in SEC game.
Well, that's his shot. He loves to shoot the 3 going to his left. And as you mentioned before, he was a 40% three-point shooter last year. Just hasn't been comfortable from three-point range this year. But he did have wrist surgery over the year. Physically, he's 100% healthy, but maybe like mentally, doesn't have that confidence to be able to have that stroke he had last year.
Foul is going to be to get a rest. Darren Populus, number 10, has the ball. Just checked into the game. He and Beatty have gotten increased playing time in recent days. Storm Warren, tough inside. He gets LSU into double figures.
Well, he's a guy that really needs to pick up his game. At the beginning of the year, he was fantastic. First 9 games, he had 7 double-doubles in points and rebounds. Has really struggled in SEC play because he's going up against bigger defenders. He's a guy that can really help out Tasman Mitchell on the offensive end.
Hobson leaves Beatty, but he can't knock down the shot. Green pulls it out for LSU. And Trent Johnson dealing with 8 scholarship players, turning to some walk-ons. He said yesterday, look, guy can give us a little spark, put in the basket. He's going to play, no scholarship or not.
Well, you see Storm Warren has struggled, but he just hit a jump shot. Got a nice bucket down low on the post. He didn't even touch the ball on that possession. So we've talked about that, some of the differences between college and the NBA. In the NBA, you find a play that works, you continue to run it. In college, they don't do that. I would have given the ball right back to Storm Warren to see if I can get him.
There we are this weekend. Looking forward to the trip.
If we can get there.
See the Orange Crush.
Supposed to be snowing a little bit. Can we get there?
We've got a couple of options.
Yeah,
I've got a backup plan for you.
You didn't tell me about the backup plan. Okay.
Tasman Mitchell now 0 for 5 from the floor, and LSU's leading scorer and primary source of offense has been unable to get things started.
Well, you got to compliment Tennessee defensively. They've been putting different guys, fresh guys on Tasman Mitchell. Melvin Goins or Cameron Tatum's on them now, but they've had Wayne Chisholm on them, J.P. Prince, a number of guys taking a shot at the big-time player, Tasman Mitchell.
Woolridge misses from 3, and Mitchell done his job on the board. Now well on his way to reaching his average in rebounds, with 5 so far, averaging nearly 10. Got a great week of basketball. Started anyway. Duke and Carolina on Wednesday. Game day will be at Kentucky for these Volunteers against the Wildcats in Rupp Arena. Just a tremendous week of basketball. Texas and Kansas the day after the Super Bowl. Rivalry's the lifeblood of the sport. Storm Warren back inside. Chisholm just right on top, just takes it away. Great block shot by Chisholm. McBee into the front court for Tennessee.
Yeah, see, that's a play at the beginning of the year that Storm Warren was finishing against smaller defenders. Now in the SEC, going up against athletic, bigger players like Wayne Chisholm, having difficulty getting the ball to the rim.
And Woolridge trying to get into the paint. Woolridge.
The era is fantastic.
Just a couple of days ago on January 31st, the 40th anniversary of Maravich passing Oscar Robertson to become the all-time leading scorer in college basketball. And they're going to commemorate that event here tonight just by welcoming late Maravich's wife, Jackie, and one of his sons, Josh, here. Maravich still revered in these parts for the show he put on during his career at LSU. Tennessee on the run. Bobby Mays shoots an air ball. Scrum for it. Beatty pulls it out of there. Populus has it, number 10. Couple point guards on the floor for Trent Johnson. And, you know, 10 points that LSU has in 17 minutes. Old Pete would get that in about 5 trips. And there's Bo Spencer knocking down a 3.
There we go.
LSU have been shooting 19%. Spencer now has 7 in the first half. He scored the first 2 buckets for LSU and have been very quiet until that 3.
Well, you really want to get him going. I mean, this is a guy that can really get hot from three-point range. Reese mentioned before, Mississippi State, their last game, he hit 3 threes in a row to cut the lead to 10. So he's a streaky scorer. He's a guy that can really get it going once he hits that first shot.
Well, Populous, the freshman from Slidell, is all over Mays trying to earn some time. He's a quick guy. Woolridge is loose. Although Woolridge with the punch, Tennessee's lead is back to 9. He has 3.
You know, Reese, I wish he would do that more. I mean, he's another versatile power forward that can play inside and out. And a lot of times he shoots that 3-point jump shot. He's really good when he puts the ball on the floor, takes it to the rim. Good move by Ronaldo Woolridge.
They're stunning at Tasman Mitchell. Tasman has been able to get free as he tries to post up and use his strength against J.P. Prince. You know, Woolridge versatile in a different way, too. Online renowned as a rapper as Spencer tries it and knocks it down again. His second straight 3.
You know, defensively for Tennessee, now they're going to have to honor Bo Spencer, but they've got to get back on defense. After a made basket, easy layup, that can't happen.
And Trent Johnson was absolutely disgusted on the sideline. Kept his cool.
Trying to.
Considered erupting, decided it wasn't the proper course of action. Prince had the easy layup. Spencer hesitated. Now gets into the lane. Tries to find Mitchell. Ball kicked around. It'll stay on this end with LSU. Saturday at High. Singler coming off that great performance tonight against Georgia Tech. Owen Smith had a great performance in the first meeting that Duke had against Boston College and Cameron Indoor.
Those guys have been fantastic for them, consistent all year.
Chisholm stopped Mitchell effectively. Populous didn't want the shot. Now Spencer may have no choice. Shot clock at 3. Heaves one up. That'll break his string of 3-pointers, but the degree of difficulty was immense. J.P. Prince. Hop step. Crowd wanted to travel. Mays couldn't get it to go off the bank. He's inside a minute to play in the half. About an 8-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock, so LSU will have to get one up. They can't play for the last one. Populous, now Spencer. And Mitchell. Mitchell has been completely silenced by the Big Orange defense.
Well, they've done a nice job of really not giving them a lot of space out there on the floor. Now, good pass by both Spencer.
Spencer to Mitchell. Mitchell trying to get a shot up, and maybe Tasman's getting a little frustrated on the offensive end. Called for the travel, and Tennessee will have it with 10.4 to go.
I tell you, Tennessee stopping dribble penetration, making team shoot contested jumpers.
Mays penetrates, shoots it over Mitchell, leaves it short. Chisholm with the follow right before the horn, and Tennessee gets a bucket to go to the locker room with. Chisholm with 8 in the first half. And Bruce Pearl's team has a 10-point lead on the road. They've struggled in their first 2 SEC road games. Bo Spencer with 10 points. He shot it pretty well. Tasman Mitchell has yet to score from the field. We'll see if he can get it going in the second half. Tennessee's up by 10 as we go to the half. Ryan Burke. SEC on ESPN, and the refrain in Louisiana this week is who dat say they're going to beat them Saints. Maybe changed a little bit. Defensive showcase in the first half for Tennessee. The 14th ranked Volunteers up on LSU 26-16. Reese Davison, Hubert Davis, and some people we know very well apparently right behind us in the Maravich Maniac session.
Wow.
They're waiting to cheer for Tasman Mitchell, a guy who came into the night 11 points shy of passing Chris Jackson for 7th on the all-time scoring list. He's got nothing and liked it in the first half so far here.
Well, he's a big-time scorer. He's one of the best players in the SEC, and he has really struggled in the first half. I mean, this is a guy that likes to post up a little bit outside the wing, and he's a guy that can knock down that perimeter jump shot, also put the ball on the floor and take it to the rim. Only has 1 point here in the first half, hadn't been able to get to the free throw line. Tennessee defensively has put a number of defenders on him. Scotty Hobson, Wayne Chisholm, J.P. Prince, and they've done an excellent job of contesting his shots and keeping them away from the rim.
Second half is underway. Mitchell very capable of going off the steal by Spencer. LSU forces a turnover on Tennessee's opening possession. Chris Beatty getting the second half start for LSU, the walk-on number 14, and Spencer has it out front.
Well, that's the guy offensively you want to look at is Bo Spencer. Had a good first half, hit 2 threes, 10 points. He's a guy that can really get hot, and here's Storm Warren coming out in the second half. Another guy that's a big point production guy that really hasn't gotten it going in SEC play.
Storm Warren with his 5th point. Warren averaging nearly 13 a game. His average up over 10 points per game from last year. That's 8th best in the country. He is, you know, the LSU coaching staff will tell you he is limited somewhat offensively, but he's found effective ways to score tough-minded buckets around the rim.
Well, he's a consistent rebounder. He's a guy that can, it's a really good offensive rebounder in Bobby Mays.
A rare three-point made for Bobby Mays, who's shooting a little under 19% from three-point land on the season, but Mays stretches the Volunteer lead back to 11.
Yeah, he's not shooting the ball very well, but he's really done a nice job at the point guard position. Really a scoring point guard, but has really been a facilitator this year and done a nice job taking care of the basketball. Good move by Taz Mitchell.
That's Taz's first bucket of the night. A little left-handed hook inside, and LSU stays within 9. Mitchell has an opportunity by the end of the season, Hubert, to become just the 3rd guy in LSU history to score 2,000 points. On average, about 16 to do it. Wayne Chisholm loose on the inside for the easy bucket.
Yeah, that was a mistake on Storm Warren. You cannot play high side if you do not have help on that weak side. Easy lob play to Wayne Chisholm underneath the basket.
Chisholm now into double figures with 10. Mays working on Spencer out front. Spencer has it knocked away and a late whistle. Mays not thrilled with the calls. He is called for the foul, his first. Here's Tasman Mitchell's first bucket of the game.
Well, a couple things. One, it was an offensive rebound, and then number 2 is he caught the ball closer to the lane. And in the first half, he was catching the ball about 15 feet away from the basket. A lot of time for Tennessee defenders to help. Maybe in this half, catch the ball a little bit closer to the basket, be a little bit more effective scoring in the lane.
Beatty missed it. Warren tipped it and missed it. Warren continued to work. I believe it was Storm. He got it down. Hobson in transition, knocks down the 3. Scotty Hobson now with 6. And Tennessee, every time LSU seems to get a little run going, Tennessee has been able to answer. Spencer all the way to the bucket and rolls out. Chisholm then just throws it past Mays and throws it away. And Wayne raises his hand. My bad.
You know, you look offensively for LSU, there's 2 plays that are working for them. One is the high pick and roll with Bo Spencer and spread them out like a 1-4 set along the baseline and then get Tasman Mitchell the basketball closer to the lane. I think he can be effective scoring if he gets it closer to the basket.
The ball is kicked out of bounds. Skylar McBee and Melvin Goins check back into the game for Tennessee. Bobby Mays and Scotty Hobson will get a counseling session with Bruce Pearl on the sideline. A brief one. Imagine Scotty's visit to the bench will be brief as well.
Well, the good thing about Tennessee is now they've added a lot more depth. So Coach Pearl can actually pull guys out and talk to them and get them to play the right way. Prior to the suspension, they were only playing 7-8 guys. Now they probably go 10 deep.
Chris Beatty missed that, but Tennessee lost it out of bounds, so LSU will have another shot at it. 34-22. LSU up by a dozen. This is the freshman Dotson, number 12. Mitchell, second leading scorer in the SEC overall with just 3 so far tonight. Storm Warren with the jumper, loses it, and there's Mitchell to clean it up. His second bucket of the second half, he's got 5.
Yeah, he's done a nice job of attacking the offensive board. That's back-to-back buckets for Tasman Mitchell. See if he can get it going offensively. Big-time score for LSU.
Chisholm has the 3 rattle out. Woolridge skying for the rebound. And Tennessee keeps it on their end. Goins out front. He's guarded by Spencer. Hubert pointed out in the first half, LSU basically going man-to-man on misses and going zone after they make a bucket. It means we haven't seen quite as much zone as Trent would like to play. Goins knocks down the shot. He has 5. Tennessee's lead is back to 12.
He played well at the point guard position off the bench. Not just scoring, but taking care of the basketball. known as a good defensive player, but done a nice job settling down Tennessee offensively in both halves.
Dotson, the freshman, Prince got into him. Foul call.
I think that's one record that's going to stay with him for the rest of forever.
Aaron Dotson knocked down both free throws. And Maravich, really, it was a different era. There were a lot of big-time scores in the South around that time. Johnny, games changed. The athletes are probably superior to what they were at that time.
But he didn't have a three-point shot.
No, he didn't have a three-point shot. But, we've talked about this before. Great players would be great in any era. Maravich would be great.
I agree with
now,
you.
too.
Right.
One of the best to ever play the game. It really changed the game. The way LSU's last 10 games guaranteed to play at least 10.
He's got 6 tonight.
He's going to need to pick it up. But Mitchell will have an opportunity to join that realm. Kenny Hall inside. Hall probably ran with the ball, and he did. Mike Nance, we center tonight. Tennessee with 8 turnovers now, but the Volunteers still hanging on to a 10-point lead. Darren Populist into the game. So, too, is Zach Kinsley, who's made the team as a walk-on 2 straight years for Trent Johnson. Number 20 into the game for LSU. Some physical play on the inside. Mike Nance blows his whistle. He's going to...
You put 2 shooters around Tasman Mitchell. So the 2 guys that can make a play is enter the ball through the post through Bo Spencer and then have good shot by Tasman Mitchell.
Mitchell from just inside the 3-point line, and Taz starting to heat up. He has 7. And LSU back to within 8. Melvin Goins. Cameron Tatum, who's back for Pearl. Skylar McVee has returned. He's guarded by Kinsley. Matchup of walk-ons out front again. I'll be saying that a few times tonight. Both of these teams playing several guys who are paying their own way to college. Storm Warren helping on Goins. Goins cut off. McVee driving the baseline. He stepped on the baseline. It'll be LSU's ball. Nova's been sensational.
Well, once again in that game, Chris Wright struggled from 3-point range. He was 0 for 6. Every time that Chris Wright has struggled from the perimeter, Georgetown has lost. So he's a huge part of Georgetown's success this year.
Populous shot the 3. The freshman comes up short. Goins to Hobson. Hobson in traffic, and it rattles out. No shooting luck at all for Scotty. Here comes Bo Spencer. Tennessee's back on D. Bo up over his head. A wild shot. Scramble on the floor, and Goins has it. Now Tennessee's got numbers. 3-on-1 up top to Tatum for the slam.
Once again, Reese, Melvin Goins has been huge on both ends of the floor. Outstanding defensive play, was able to get to deflection, and then a nice pass to Cameron Tatum for the alley-oop dunk.
Goins, junior college transfer, giving Pearl some depth and giving a little bit of spark to the Volunteers tonight. Going to be called on Kenny Hall. It's his second for the freshman, and Kenny's going to head to the bench. No, he's staying in. A little confusion on the Tennessee side about who's coming out. It looks like Wayne Chisholm is going to take a break. So Hall stays in there with Woolridge up front. Goins, Hobson, and Tatum on the floor for the Volunteers. Here's Kinsley. To Spencer. Spencer, good first half, really kept LSU within striking distance. Storm Warren missed. Mitchell missed the tip. And Tennessee's out with it. Goins leaves it for Tatum. Tatum all the way to the rim for the easy layup.
You know, he's really improved on that. Last year, he would have taken that 3-point shot. Now, putting the ball on the floor, good pump fake, and was able to get to the rim. That's the type of play I've been talking about with Ronaldo Woolridge and also Wayne Chisholm. Those guys can make those similar type plays to the basket.
Warren kicks it to Kinsley. He's going to try it. It's a 2. It's a 2, foot on the line. Rick Crawford right on top of it, but Kinsley, it's a perimeter shot. LSU could use a little of that. 10-point game again, headed toward the 12-minute mark. Good curl by Tatum again, all the way to the inside, and Cameron draws the foul.
Well, those are the 2 guys that got suspended for a number of games, gotten back into this lineup and been a huge benefit for them on both ends of the floor, giving them a lot of energy, and Tatum doing a nice job offensively, mixing up his game, taking it to the basket.
Tatum just over 58% on the season from the free throw line, and pretty much what he does, 1 of 2. But Woolridge is there with the offensive rebound, and Hall with another offensive rebound and the flush. Tennessee pushes its lead to 13. Look at Kenny Hall on the inside, the strong. Bruce Pearl has said that Kenny Hall is his best offensive rebounder as a freshman. He can fly over the top of everybody. It helps. Volunteers up by 11. Without scoring, they stopped the game and talked to him. He said, well, you know, we do still have a game going on. One that LSU won over Ole Miss by about 23. Pete had 53 and 12 assists. Wow. Tennessee with a 10-point lead on LSU. LSU could use somebody to put up some kind of offensive numbers here in the last 11 minutes and 30 seconds if they're going to pick up their first SEC win of the season. Woolridge not really thrilled with his lack of playing time prior to all of this. Same deal with Kenny Hall. We've seen both of these guys contribute tonight. They both took advantage of their opportunities. Now Pearl said the challenge is to keep it going as Chisholm slices to the bucket and scores. Wayne Chisholm with another deuce. He's got a dozen.
Yeah, I told Kenny Hall at shoot-around this morning and Ronaldo Woolridge's father that it was great to see these kids. You could tell that even when they were sitting the bench at the beginning of the year, they were upset, but they continued to work hard and stay ready. And now they got their opportunity. And now Coach Pearl can't get them out of the lineup. They're playing well on both ends of the floor.
Tasman Mitchell.
John Thompson on him in the second half. I'm not sure. LSU gave North Carolina their best game in the NCAA tournament. The Tigers might have beaten the Tar Heels, the eventual NCAA champions.
Mitchell now with 8. Scotty Hobson pulls the trigger from 3. Populous gets the long rebound. Spencer going to pull the trigger from 3. He's got it. Goes Spencer with 16 points. He's both starting to find his range in the latter stages of the season, and LSU is within 8. And Tennessee, check it out, Ryan, for sure. And you know, it's a shame that Malcolm Delaney's so shy about shooting from the perimeter for Virginia Tech. Boy, both Tasman Mitchell to go, and LSU forces a turnover. And Bayou Bengals with a bucket here can make things pretty interesting.
Yeah, both Spencer at the point. Struggle, particularly in SEC play from three-point range. Already has 3 threes in a game. He's really been aggressive getting the ball to the hoop. Look for him to get the ball on the last couple of possessions.
Mitchell skipped across to Kinsley. He pulls up, leaves it on the front of the rim. Taz fighting for the rebound, but Mays has it. Mays back into the game. Stephen Pearl is checked back in for the Volunteers, and we have a whistle on the baseline. People are on the floor. Stephen Pearl. Oh, Tennessee gets Chisholm wide open on the out-of-bounds play. And just like that, the Vols have the lead back to double figures.
They do a great job of scoring out-of-bounds plays underneath the basket. It's a 1-4 set, and a number of teams run it. Ole Miss, West Virginia, Baylor runs it. They get about 6 points a game off their out-of-bounds plays underneath the basket.
Spencer from way deep. Couldn't get it that time. Tennessee on the push. Goins in the front court. Thought about it. Populous was there to stop him. Skylar McBee, Pearl, Goins all in off the bench along with Tatum. Chisholm still out there as the starter. He spins on Storm Warren. And have the foul called on Warren. J.P. Prince back into the game. He's guarded by Kinsley, and the foul's going to be called on Kinsley.
It's 4-4 on rivalry. That's awesome.
No, but what are you?
Out-of-bounds play, 1-4 set. They do an outstanding job of getting points on their out-of-bounds play, and here they run it again.
Other side, and this time Prince.
It's such a simple play, and all they do is lob it over to Wayne Chisholm, set one screen and roll, and get J.P. Prince underneath the basket. Great execution for Tennessee.
Brent Johnson called the timeout with Tennessee up by 12. Here is that last out-of-bounds play, Hubert.
Yeah, it's the same play, 1-4 set, and then J.P. Prince looks like he's going to the top of the key, and they set like a little flare screen towards the basket. Very simple, but they get so many baskets off that set, Reese.
So the Volunteers up by a dozen. Johnson calls the timeout. And we're debuting on our Thursday night SEC coverage the Davis debate. One of the topics in college basketball right now has been whether the NCAA tournament should expand. Here is your ideal NCAA tournament.
I think it should shrink. I think it should go back down to 64. I don't like that playing game. I think that's ridiculous. And then instead of having the conference coach Bob McKillop looking at Davidson, they were 18-2 in the Southern Conference, and I'm saying, why is this team not representing their conference in the NCAA tournament? It wasn't the same team that went to the final late, but I think we put too much importance on a 3-day tournament instead of a 3-month regular season. And I'd like to see those teams make it to the tournament.
Chisholm knocking it away from Mitchell. Mitchell asking the freshman Dotson, how about putting that on the ground? Little bounce pass. A little tougher for Chisholm to get to if he does. Now Spencer's going to put the ball in bounds. Mitchell can't get free this time. Stephen Pearl is all over him, and LSU has to spend a timeout.
To single digits.
LSU is shooting 28.6% from the floor. They're the worst shooting team in the SEC, but their average is not that poor. Spencer has been the bright spot offensively for the Tigers tonight. He has 16 points. And he has it on the wing now. There's Spencer trying to get it to Tasman Mitchell. Stephen Pearl working him. Shot clock's at 5. Dotson. Prince tried to draw the charge. Ball's lost out of bounds, and LSU won't get a shot off. Johnson fires a chest pass. The ball went right to Trent Johnson, which is not where you want the ball to wind up when you're struggling offensively and your coach is frustrated. And Tasman Mitchell has only been able to take 9 shots tonight, largely because of that Big Orange defense.
And that's one of the reasons, when you're struggling offensively, you try to get the ball to the free throw line. And he only averages 4 free throws a game, so that's one area that he can work on. Getting to the free throw line, particularly in times where you're struggling to shoot the basketball.
Chisholm has it inside, and Warren forcing him underneath, but not far enough, and Wayne lays it up and in.
Well, that's the second time he's played high side on Wayne Chisholm. You can't do that when you don't have a weak side defender. Easy play for Tennessee to throw the lob into Chisholm underneath the basket. Chisholm has
a height advantage. He has a length advantage, too. Probably an ups advantage. As Spencer, friendly nighttime banking hours in Baton Rouge. Bo Spencer with his 4th 3 of the night. He has 19 points. And LSU tries to get the crowd excited. Inside 8 minutes to go. Tennessee with an 11-point lead. Good catch by Goins to avoid the Tennessee turnover. J.P. Prince, Chisholm to Prince slicing. Prince with the left hand, and it wouldn't go down. In position to make some noise in the tournament. A tournament that at the moment is still 65 teams. Tennessee's on its way there. LSU almost certainly not after making it last year. The Saturday prime crowd in Champaign at Assembly Hall. The Orange Crush ready for our arrival, and this version of the Orange Crush putting some defense on LSU and Tennessee on top by 11 as we head toward the 7-minute mark here in Baton Rouge. Chris Beatty, the walk-on, who's been unable to find the range. Garrett Green, wide left. That's not something they want to hear from the Saints field goal kicker on Sunday, much less from Garrett Green, the top of the key.
Well, in that situation, they were laying off of him. Kenny Hall was basically in the lap of Tasman Mitchell, so instead of shooting that 3, take a couple steps right at the free throw line, then you can shoot your 15-footer.
Skylar McBee is wide right. I guess just to make sure that we're equal, as Stephen Pearl goes crashing into the ropes separating the floor from the crowd, and Stephen's up and at him. He's okay. Right over the top of the cheerleaders. And Stephen Pearl with a big hustle play, and he'll head to the bench and get a rest. Probably deserves it after that little tumble. Now, how about Dad didn't even run over to check on him? Right?
No, he did not. He wanted to get him out of the game.
I knew he was tough. He knows him better than anyone. He knows he's tough. Here's Bo Spencer working on McBee. And Spencer fading and firing. Mitchell outfights Woolridge for the rebound. Populous. Now Spencer has it again. Populous going to try it again from 3. And Darren Populous, the freshman, with just his 2nd 3-point field goal of the season. And LSU is within 8. Time to give Tennessee a finish. Kenny Hall's back in. Woolridge to Hall. Hall working on Green right to the bucket. Green Pretty good defense, and Mitchell with the rebound, and LSU with another opportunity to draw within 6.
Now look for Tasman Mitchell offensively to have a little bit more space to operate, because now with Populous and see, he's able to get the ball down low because now they have to honor those outside shooters of Bo Spencer and also Darren Populous.
Tough miss for Mitchell. In traffic there, but he missed the layup, the shot he usually makes. Green grabbing the rebound and might have nabbed Hall with the foul. That is his 4th. Now LSU has lost all 7 conference games. They've lost 10 of 11 overall. Their only win since Christmas was against McNeese State. Tennessee, meanwhile, as you mentioned earlier, Hubert, South Carolina this weekend, Vanderbilt and Kentucky next week. So if the Vols want to win the regular season, you got to beat the teams you're supposed to beat. And while Trent Johnson is building a program here, and LSU is going to be a force in the SEC this season, LSU is a team Tennessee has to beat.
They do. I mean, this will put them, a win tonight will put them in position to catch up to Vanderbilt and also Kentucky. And they have to take care of tonight if they want to have a chance to win the regular season title. They get to play Vanderbilt and Kentucky next week. It will be a game day at Kentucky. It's going to be a fun game to watch. Both of these teams go at it.
And in Tennessee on Super Tuesday, Brandon Jimmy will have that one for you. Chisholm gets loose inside. It's the layup. Tennessee turns back the LSU threat to, put some game pressure on them by getting to within 6, and all of a sudden it's back up to 10.
Well, I like offensively, when they've been struggling or they needed a basket, they have looked to throw the ball down low on the post. They've done a nice job of finding Chisholm, Kenny Hall, Woolridge underneath the basket, also driving opportunities. That's what you have to do in late game situations to get a good high percentage shot.
Beatty for 3, and Hobson has the rebound for Tennessee. A lot of shots for LSU aren't, not really a catch and step into the shot, with the exception of some of Spencer's. Chisholm thought about it from the corner and thought better of it. Scotty Hobson working against Casman Mitchell. Ronaldo Woolridge and now Bobby Mays back into the game out front. Hobson going baseline on Taz. Couldn't get it to the rim, and Mitchell pulls out the rebound. While Mitchell has had trouble scoring, he has been a force on the boards for LSU tonight as Trent Johnson calls the timeout. LSU has 1 timeout remaining. So right now, LSU trying to find a way to get back into this game. Tennessee in control, and they really have been since the opening couple of moments here in Baton Rouge tonight. In the SEC, Kentucky continues to lead the way. Vanderbilt and Tennessee both ranked. Jarvis Bernardo, we're going to see him next week against Ole Miss. He's chasing the NCAA career block shots record.
He's a fantastic shot blocker, a guy that not only blocks shots, that alters shots, and that's going to be a big-time matchup. Talking about rivalry week.
Very nice.
Playing against Ole Miss, and that's going to be 2 teams that I think are going to be in the NCAA tournament out of the SEC.
Both of them have a little work to do. I think they have to finish strong, but both have certainly laid the foundation for making it to the NCAA tournament. Rick Stansberry's team made its way in last year by winning the SEC tournament. Otherwise, the SEC would have just had 2 teams to make it into the field of 65. Populous picks up his dribble in a very difficult place and subsequently turns it over. Just across the half-court line, they teach you from the time you're a little kid, don't pick it up there. Mitchell chases it down, and LSU has it back, and we're at the 4-minute mark, and the Bayou Bengals down by 10.
See, in that situation, pump fake, put the ball on the floor. Cameron Tatum was able to get to the rim, and here Bo Spencer gets an opportunity to get to the free throw line.
Spencer's going to go to the line. It's going to be 4 fouls on Wayne Chisholm. Not a lot of scoring here tonight. That hasn't always been the case in the Maravich Assembly Center. We'll tell you a big-time scoring game when you come back.
Chocolates or diamonds? Chocolates or diamonds? Give her both with this exclusive Helzberg box of chocolates and Diamond Heart pendant for just $129.99. Because you're loved. Helzberg Diamonds.
What's the deal with all these people rushing to work, drinking their mochachinos, cappuccinos, chocolatinos? Take a look at this, the Denny's Meat Lovers Trio. It's one of 3 new dishes for breakfast lovers being served for a limited time. I'd take one of these over a whatever chino any day.
Think about it. If you're buried up to your neck in debt, it can feel like creditors are trying to whack you on the head. Ouch. Whether you're in a financial hole or just want to get a loan, a better interest rate, or a new job, you're at the mercy of your credit score. Look, you can't fix errors on your credit report if you haven't seen it. That's why I went to freescore.com and found out my score for free. I'm practically giddy with excitement. Freescore.com gives me unlimited access to the 3 major credit reports and scores. Freescore.com even sends me an alert when there's any change to my credit report. Remember, knowing your credit score could be the difference between being down there and being up here. Get your credit score today at freescore.com.
Life costs more without Free Score.
Freescore.com.
Ryan Burr in studio. The Heels are trying to hang around in Blacksburg. JT Thompson inside for the Hokies gets the friendly roll at the home arena. And right now, 66-61, Virginia Tech hanging on up 5 against the Tar Heels with 4:35 to go. How about Maryland and Florida State tied at 62 with 2:21 to play?
All right, Ryan, a couple of good ones in the ACC. There is Dale Brown, the legendary coach at LSU. 20 years ago yesterday, Dale revamped his offense because he had watched Loyola Marymount play and said, hey, we'll try to play like them when we play against them. Dale Brown put in this offense, and he had guys like Chris Jackson. He had Shaq and Stanley Robertson. He said, fellas, go get it. With both Kimball and Hank Gathers, that is really Shaq. That looks like half of Shaq.
No way.
Look at Chris Jackson. Later changed his name to Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, one of the great scorers in LSU history. And LSU won that game 148-141. Bo Spencer steps to the free throw line to make it 148-141, or a little over 100 points more than LSU has here tonight.
Where is that tonight?
You know, here's how fast that game was, Hubert. The electric typewriter they used to keep track of the play-by-play, the motor burned up. Now, for you kids out there, that's like your computer freezing. Back when they had typewriters, they had to go get something else to try to keep up with the play-by-play. It was going so fast and furious between Paul Westhead's team. Made it to the Elite Eight that year, and that great star-studded LSU team. The Tigers with a chance again to get within 6. This has been the hump they couldn't get over, and now they do. Tasman Mitchell, and now we've got a tight one with 3.5 to go. Mitchell into double figures with 10. And those here in the Maravich Assembly Center trying to root on the Tigers. Pearl calling a play on the side.
Late clock situations. You look at Tennessee, high pick and roll with Bobby Mays going to his right.
Tatum feeding Chisholm. Chisholm loses it on the floor. Big scramble. Everybody after it. Ball goes out of bounds, and it's going to stay on this end with Tennessee. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Now here's where you watch the out-of-bounds play where Tennessee's been very effective.
Exactly. They're 1-4 playing. You can see the hustle. Good strip by Tasman Mitchell's guys getting on the floor, trying to get an extra possession. Both teams hustling. You got to look at this 1-4 play out of bounds underneath the basket for Tennessee. They have gotten already 4 points off this play. Watch for J.P. Prince, and then Chisholm ducking in.
Prince has it, went right by Kinsley. Mitchell gets the rebound, and LSU can get within 4-3 with a 3. Spencer to Kinsley, and Bo Spencer is going to be called for an offensive foul, an illegal screen, and he knew it. He didn't mean to get that close, and he sort of went in and crashed into it.
Yeah, he was trying to set a screen to free up for 3, but put his shoulder into it. But they've done a nice job defensively. Just get another stop here and be able to get out in transition.
2.5 to go. Tennessee trying to hang on and stay right on Kentucky and Vanderbilt's heels in the SEC East, and Spencer forces the turnover. Tasman Mitchell is loose, but a whistle blows in the backcourt, and foul is called. Might have gotten Scotty Hobson. It probably turned out to be a good foul. Hobson's second because Mitchell had a dunk on the other end, if not.
Well, they've played good defense here in this game. Done a nice job of getting in the passing lanes. getting deflections and allow them to get into the open court. Now they're in the penalty. You got a Bo Spencer, a guy that can shoot the ball from the free throw line, up here for 2.
82% on the season, and Bo rattles in the first one. LSU within 5. As close as they've been since early in the first half. Spencer can make it a 4-point game. And he does. Bo Spencer has had a huge night. 23 points, a season high, 28 against Western Kentucky. A 4-point Tennessee lead. Vols need a basket. Good cut inside. Chisholm with a good pass from Prince, and they quiet the crowd.
Great execution. They always try to get the ball to Wayne Chisholm underneath the post, but they brought him from the top of the key. Excellent pass down low. Chisholm has been big here in the second half, scoring down low on the block.
Chisholm with 20. Spencer keeps his dribble alive. Mays is all over him. Populous relieves the pressure. Now inside 2 minutes to go. Tinsley, shot clock's at 10. Populous is going to have to create. Now Spencer's got it. Spencer working on Mays, gets it inside. The one-hander's good. Oh, Spencer, 25 on the night, and LSU's within 4.
Once again, look for Wayne Chisholm. They'll bring him up to the top of the key, set a back screen, try to get him underneath the basket for easy points underneath the basket.
Hobson has it, and Pearl didn't like the way the possession was going, so he calls a timeout. Tennessee is up by 4, 1:21 to go. Let's check in with Terry Gannon.
Forget the game face. They're getting their game chest on here in Spokane. Gonzaga finally lost a West Coast Conference game. They had won 27 in a row, but Stephen Gray and the Bulldogs are getting set to take on the team just one game behind them in the conference standings, the Portland Pilots. That's next.
All right, Terry, look forward to that one. We've got a great finish going here in Baton Rouge, and it's largely because of Bo Spencer's play.
Well, he's really stepped up. He has 25 points in the night, and he's done it in a number of ways. You can see that floater in the lane, high pick and roll at the beginning of the game, but he's really got it going from three-point range. Knocked down already 4 threes in the game, and then now that's opening up, giving him room to put the ball on the floor and finish in the lane. Tasman Mitchell, their go-to guy, has struggled offensively, but Bo Spencer has stepped up.
What do you expect to see from Tennessee on this possession?
Wayne Chisholm down low on the post. They like to set a cross screen for him.
Ronaldo Woolridge for 3, no good. That might not have been the shot Pearl wanted. Look at his reaction on the sideline. He's clapping, but that's only on the outside.
But you got to get the ball down low to Chisholm. They haven't been able to stop him in the second half.
And nobody can stop Spencer. He takes a wild shot off balance, and Tennessee has the rebound. We're inside a minute to go. 55-51, Volunteers with the lead in the ball. And Pearl wants his team to be patient. Trent Johnson out on the floor calling his team out. Wants him to get after and put some pressure on him, and now the shot clock's at 15, and might be just as well to play defense
He's
now.
got Zach Kinsley on him. You got to throw the ball down low to the post.
And shot clock at 12, and foul was called. Team foul on LSU. Send Tennessee to the line. Don't forget, Portland and Gonzaga. Coming up next is the Thursday night showcase presented by T. Rowe Price continues. Gonzaga taking on the Pilots. West Coast Conference battle. And got a stoppage with 34.1 seconds to go. Tennessee up 55-51. Now maybe the officials thought there was a timeout called, and now maybe Tennessee pleading his case they didn't want the timeout.
See, Reese, the reason why you want to throw the ball down low to post to Chisholm is, 1, he's their best low post scorer, but 2, if he gets fouled, he's one of their better free throw shooters. Now you put J.P. Prince on the line, and he struggles from the free throw line.
58% on the year. J.P. missed it. Chisholm got a hand on it, but Populous has the rebound. LSU with the ball down 4. Populous, the handoff to Spencer. He traveled and got away with it. Closely guarded by Goins. Tasman Mitchell. Good defense by Prince. LSU's in a panic with under 20 to go. Mitchell for 3. Almost a 4-point play opportunity. But Tasman Mitchell will go to the free throw line with a chance to get LSU within 1.
Wow, you can see LSU struggling offensively, trying to find a shot, and Tazza Mitchell gets J.P. Prince up in the air. Possible 4-point play, but goes to the free throw line for 3.
Now, Mitchell hasn't shot free throws in SEC play as well as he has in the regular season. A little under 66% in conference games, but he knocks that one down. Tasman made the first one. Subpar night offensively for him, at least by his standards. Mitchell now 2 for 2, and LSU is within 2.
Now in this situation, if Tasman Mitchell make or miss, it's still a 1-possession game. You can see the timeout. Both coaches want to figure out what to do in this late game situation.
So Mitchell has one more free throw coming. He can bring LSU to within 1. And while Mitchell has struggled offensively, he does have 17 rebounds tonight. He's been a consistent force on the boards. Now he's got an opportunity. He makes this. If he makes this free throw, they're within 1. Give me the late game strategy for LSU. Who are you trying to put on the free throw line?
Well, for LSU, if they make the free throw, either they make the free throw, try to get a steal first. If you don't get the steal, then you put the guy, you foul Tennessee. The guy that I would put on the free throw line is J.P. Prince. He just went to the free throw line, shoots 58%. Put him at the free throw line. Do not put Bobby Mays. Do not put Wayne Chisholm. Do not put Skylar McBee. Those 3 guys are Tennessee's best free throw shooters.
But Tennessee is a team, not a good free throw shooting team. They're 10th in the SEC and 240th in the country, shooting just over 66%. LSU has lost all 7 conference games this year, a 9-game SEC losing streak dating to last year, the season in which the Tigers were SEC regular season champs. Mitchell made all 3 of them, and LSU's within 1.
Try to get the steal first. If you don't get it, foul right away.
Now they've got somebody loose, Hobson, and Mays gets it on the first pass. And LSU was probably fortunate because Eddie Ludwig, the freshman, lost Scotty Hobson, and Hobson was by himself in the front court.
But great coaching move by Bruce Pearl. He put his worst free throw shooter, J.P. Prince, was the guy taking the ball out of bounds so he wouldn't get fouled.
Now Tennessee can push the lead back to 3. Still time now with 16.6 to go, straight to the rim if you're LSU, even if he makes both.
Even if he makes both, with 16 seconds, when you look at LSU, you do not need a 3. Take the ball to the hoop, foul, put them back on the free throw line. You only shoot a 3 when you have to.
LSU takes his final timeout. Tennessee with a 56-54 lead. Mays will shoot the second of his 2 free throws. Tennessee's coming off a tight game against Florida, one in which Chandler Parsons, who's been a late-game hero for the Gators all season, gave him the lead, but Scotty Hobson answered.
Well, yeah, I mean, this wasn't the play to get a fadeaway jump shot, but he stepped up in late-game situation, hit a tough shot over Chandler Parsons, and then they thought they were up by 2, but they were only up by 1 because Scotty Hobson had his foot on the line, and Alex Tyus misses an easy 2 to get Florida a win on the road.
You know, Pearl was funny talking about that this morning. He thought the entire time that Hobson's shot was a 3, so he thought Tyus was going to score. And he said, I would have been the goofiest looking man in the building if Tyus had scored. I've been walking out there clapping, saying, it's okay, we got overtime, here we go.
They would have lost.
One of the many last-second games that Florida has played this year, and Tennessee coming off that one in which they won, and they're in another nail-biter, one perhaps they didn't anticipate against LSU tonight. For much of the second half, Hubert, Tennessee's lead was double figures.
Well, it has, but you have to compliment Bo Spencer. He's got it hot on the offensive end, done a nice job knocking down 3s, and also driving, dribble penetration. Getting them into the penalty was really huge for them as well. And then offensively for Tennessee, they got away from throwing the ball down low on the post, started taking some quick jump shots, and that allowed LSU to get back into the game.
You know, the one thing Trent Johnson has said during this losing streak for LSU, these kids have continued to work hard.
Yeah.
I mean, all coaches, like to say that this time of year, but Trent, spending time with him yesterday, he was hurting for these guys because they're trying hard.
Yeah.
Outside of Mitchell, Spencer, not a lot of offensive talent on this team as Mays knocks down the free throw, and Tennessee's lead is 3.
Do not need a 3 in this situation. Take the ball to the hoop, get an easy 2.
Populous hands it off. Now, at some point, they may have to try the 3. And Mitchell does for 3, misses, and Hobson has the rebound. And Tennessee, they got to foul him. LSU has to foul him, and Populous does with 3.7. And if Hobson puts one of these down, that should be all she wrote.
And Coach Bruce Pearl opted not to foul in this situation. A lot of coaches believe foul, put them on at the free throw line, late clock situations, switch all ball screens and pick and rolls. Tasman Mitchell takes a tough three-point shot in that situation. I still think they had a lot of time to put the ball on the floor and take it to the rim.
With 3.7 to go, Hobson, who's been very quiet tonight offensively, to 6 points, has 7, and that 7th point should let Tennessee get out of here with a road win.
It's a huge free throw right there. Now it makes it a 2-possession game, and 3.7 seconds to go, pretty much game over.
Scotty Hobson knocks it down. The Volunteers are going to win in Baton Rouge, 59-54. Spencer with the final shot, and he couldn't get it to go. The Volunteers go on the road and win it, 59-54 over LSU. They are now 0-8 in the conference. This has been an exclusive presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Hubert Davis and our entire crew, I'm Reese Davis. Good night from Baton Rouge. Here's Terry and Steven.